Standard form. Standard form of an equation is ax plus by equals c. C being your constant, a and b are coefficients. Now when you're in standard form like this problem, 3x minus 3y equals 12, I cannot graph that with a graphing calculator or by hand. So my goal is to get it into slope-intercept form, and that's y equals mx plus b. And if you notice, y is alone in slope-intercept form. So my job is to get that y all by itself. So the first thing I have to do is get rid of the 3 and the x. They are multiplied, but it is a coefficient times a variable. So I'm going to move it to the other side, the right side. Notice that is negative 3y. These two are not like terms. This has an x, this does not. I'm going to put the x first. That is a positive 12 because over here, notice mx, slope, and intercept come first. Now, in order to get 1y, I have to divide by negative 3, but that has to happen to all of them. A negative divided by a negative is a positive 1. Negative divided by a negative is positive. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So that is 1x minus, when I do this division, I get a negative 4. Use your calculator to check. Notice my slope is 1 over 1, and my b, my y-intercept, is negative 4. Second problem, x plus 4y equals 6. Again, I want to put it in slope-intercept, so I'm looking to find y. In order to do that, I'm going to move the x by subtracting it. Now, these again are not like terms. Do not put them together. Variable, that 6 is positive. I'm going to divide everybody by the 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1y. Now this is important right here. That is a negative 1. This is negative 1 over 4x plus, if you're not sure what 6 divided by 4 is, 6 divided by 4. You may use a decimal here because it is your y-intercept, but you may never use a decimal for slope because you need a y change divided by an x change. So my slope is negative 1 over 4, and my b, my y-intercept, is 1.5. Third one, 6x plus 2y equals 8. Again, I'm trying to get this y right here all by itself. So I'm going to move 6x. And I've got 2y is equal to negative 6x plus 8. These are not like terms. Do not add them or subtract them. This has a variable, this does not. I'm going to divide by 2. And I have 1y. Negative divided by a positive is a negative. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then I've got 8 divided by 2, which is 4. My slope here is negative 3. You can put it over 1 to have a rise and a run. My y-intercept is positive 4. Next problem, number 4, y equals 5. Well, notice that I only have one variable and it's already solved for y. When I go to graph this, I know that y has to be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if I move up and down, y is not 5 on the y-axis. So I have to go across and hit the y-axis. Now, my slope here, my y-intercept here. Y-intercept is 5. Slope, my y change, I'm not allowed to go up or down, so it's 0. My x change is anything I want it to be. 0 divided by anything is always going to be 0, so my slope is 0. Number 5. So if I have x equals 2, notice there is no y to get alone at all. So if I'm going to graph that when x is 2, it's right here on the x-axis at 2. I may not go this way because x is 1 and 0 and negative 1. So I have to go through the x-axis, slope, y-intercept. Notice I never hit the y-axis, so I have no b here. There is not one. It's not 0. I don't hit it right here. I don't hit it at all. There is not one. Now, slope, my y change, is any number I want it to be. My x change, I cannot move left or right. And no matter what I do in the calculator, if I take 100 divided by 0, it says error. If I take 4 divided by 0, I still get error. That means that this isn't 0. This slope is 0. 0 divided by anything is nothing. But I cannot do this. You will die. You cannot ski that line. So my slope is undefined. It's not 0, it's undefined.